Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All that I tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go run and hide. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome
Welcome live back to Nerd TV for another Global Sim Racing Truck Series race. This time coming at you live from the simulated Kentucky Speedway. This 1.5 mile track is going to go 134 laps here this evening for the Kentucky Fried 200. Weather on the screen on the left-hand side, 76 degrees, which is not where I'm at, which is already still 90 degrees here at 6 o'clock Eastern. 63% humidity, partly cloudy. Good chunk of wind, though. 14-mile-an-hour winds right now. So that could or could not play a factor throughout this race this evening. And my name is Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty on the interwebs. And double duting once more here tonight, Justin Loxton, a.k.a. Ballistic. How's it going this Sunday night for you?
Oh, it's going to go good. We're going to see what these boys from the Global Racing Truck Series can't do here at Kentucky. This track has surprised me in the past. Typically, it hadn't really given a lot of solid racing. But with recent updates, different package updates to the cars and the trucks, this track actually poses some good 2-3 wide battles a lot of times. So, I mean, it really does amp up. And with the way that things have been heating up in the point standings and everything else for these boys over here in the Global Racing Truck Series, this could really tune up to be a damn good race in the end.
And your top 10 separated only by 3/10. Got some newcomers from last week and in a completely new name this season. Brandon Crichton in the 02 coming up top on the practice boards with this 30.718. So he's looking to put a dent in his inaugural race here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Other notables from the last week starting, Brody Marinko there, he's in 4th in practice. Jamie Horn, I think he's completely new, 6th on the board right now. Nick Boyd, 8th. So quite a few names up there, Dustin, that are not used to this scene here on Sunday evenings, and this should be a fun little mix-up for these guys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we seen last week, we had a lot of the newcomers. I mean, we had, 5 of them in the top 12, which is, I mean, a really good showing, especially at Gateway, because that's such a technical track and a driver's track there. So to come out there and have a good showing by a lot of the newcomers, the young blood, so to speak, coming in from some of these global veterans out here, was actually kind of cool to see. And we're seeing a lot of the newer ones this week picking up right where the new ones from last week left off. I mean, you just named off 4 of them in the top 10 in practice times right now, with one of them holding the top spot with Brandon Crichton. So it's going to be gearing up. And and the thing is that plays dividends for us as well, because we don't know what to expect with these drivers. So we're going to be seeing these drivers perform for the first time and kind of seeing their ins and outs and their quips and everything else throughout the race, just like all the viewers out there tonight.
Yeah, 100% there. Should be fun. Quick rundown on the points before we go to qualifying. Chad McGinley, 5 wins, has a 40-point advantage over second place in points, Joshua Slade, which we'll get to Joshua Slade's starting lineup here in just a little bit. Bobby Mantle in 3rd, 82 points out. 4th place, Justin LeBlanc, 125 back. And then EJ Luna is your 5th place truck. And the point board, 126 out. So 4th through about 7th are all within 15 points of one another. That will change a lot of positions as this season continues, but there it is. Final practice is over the 0-2. Brandon Crichton does take the victory here in practice. Let's see what that translates to qualifying. We're going to get our cameras off your screens. Go full screen here for this qualifying session for the Kentucky Fried 200. Not doing Sonoma, of course. They usually do that, but, their trucks aren't running this weekend, so they chose this place, Dustin.
Yeah, and not a bad choice. I mean, me personally, it's not one of my favorite tracks to run. I don't know why. I've never been a big fan of Kentucky. I've always my personal dub is Kentucky. I don't know. I have a hard time at times finding what the best line is. But I mean, they could have chosen worse tracks. They really can. And like I said, with recent changes, this track has posed some really good racing, especially in the Craftsman Truck Series models here on the iRacing simulation software. My question is, Jeremy, is to see exactly how this thing is going to perform with the most recent update package, which is, as you all are aware, the trucks actually underwent a huge overhaul. One of the big ones was with the entire aero package that was on there. These things actually drive a little looser now. You actually have to work the throttle a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting, Jeremy, to see how they all stack up here in Kentucky.
We did a great time last night running the league race that we run on every Saturday, the OP Unlimited Series, and the Super Speedway package got a little better.
Oh, for sure.
Not necessarily it's going to improve driver talents or anything, but at least the trucks feel. Well, we don't drive these things in real life, but they felt better. They felt like they look like they're on camera a little more equal. So a little loose here. Look at this line, Dustin. I know there's some grip up there in that top of 3 and 4. You're not going to see drivers run that for race speed, but that little grip patch is excellent to get this qualifying lap started.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of them do that. We're on board with Brandon Crichton right now. You know, he wound it up, and then you see he dove it down through the tri-oval. He stuck the paint through 1 and 2, straight back up to the wall again. You're going to see him dive it back down to the line again. He's going to put the left tire right around that dark strip, that grip patch right there, and then he's going to rip it off. Good solid corner exit here, nice and smooth. Right back down to the apron, duck below the yellow line. That was a solid lap, Jeremy. Puts him P3 right now on the board at P4 at a 30.51. That was tied with Bobby Mantle, both of them at a .51, so that went to the 3rd decimal point as the 98 of Horn. And that now takes your top spot, Jeremy. Only 2 drivers in the .4s.
2 drivers in the .4s, and now one of those is brand new to this league as well, Jamie Horn, the 98. He came out of nowhere with his 30.826 in practice, 4/10 faster at that 30.455 for the 98. Is right on board. I do believe, was this the number 1 of Michael Hayes?
It was, yes.
He's on screen right now. This guy has been improving more and more for 101 Motorsports. Crichton coming to that stable for that team, by the way. Maxes out the team of 5 drivers. So with Dave Mateo being better, Bradley Miner's been picking it up a little bit. Joshua Slade, of course, he's probably the best guy on the team right now. Then Brandon Crichton, new to this, like 101. They've got some talent to push this championship run late in the going.
They really do. I mean, they've got a solid stable, and they just keep adding to it. Like you said, Joshua Slade has been doing fantastic this season here. Has seen victory lane a number of times. Couple slip-ups. One was last week that is actually going to lead to him having to serve a drive-through penalty for tonight's race. But, I mean, still a solid stable. I mean, you know, Hayes has been getting better and better. And last week, I mean, we seen a whole new driver in De Matteo. I mean, he was making moves and had brought a different level of aggression last week. It wasn't necessarily bad aggression, but it's just something we're not used to seeing from De Matteo like that. And he was trucking through the field.
Pun included on that, as we have less than a minute left in this qualifying session. All but 3 drivers have posted time. One on track right now, Dustin, late in the going, the 54, Brody Marinko. He's on the back stretch here, the only truck on track, 30 seconds left. This will be his last posted time, or his only posted time, I do believe. Coming out through 3 and 4. You don't want to run right up against that wall. You're going to lose speed. That corner is so wide, you don't need to utilize all the asphalt. Crosses the line, 30.783. Going to move him right around the 10th place spot. And time will wind down. I do not believe this second time will count for this number 54 truck.
No, definitely going to run out of time here, so he'll be slotted P12, but still a solid effort on a single lap qualifying run.
And that's going to set the starting lineup here for the Kentucky Fried 200. Once these drivers start to register onto the track, then we'll go down our starting order here. Let's see if you can produce an awesome grid walk again. If not, either way, we'll still give you the rundown. 26 entries, 134 laps here tonight. And, well, he tried doing it for me. And then we're going to have a Fox camera blackout. There we go. I'm going to rotate this thing 180. We're going to do a 45-degree staggered rundown on pit road here. Jamie Horn going to be P1. Chad McGinley, your points leader, 2nd place. Bobby Mantle in 3rd. Brandon Crichton does end up in 4th. Michael Hayes in 5th. Clayton White, P6. 7th will be Nick Boyd on his outside, 8th place. EJ Luna, 9th place. Justin LeBlanc. Danny White in the 64. Another good, solid qualifying effort. He's going to start in P10. 11th will be Stephen Knight. 12th, Brody Marinko. 13th, Abram Ghostin. 14th place will be Bradley Miner. 15th, you'll find the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. 16th, Stephen Hayes. 17, Ronald Holmes. 18th, Jacob Grant. 19th, John Howard. 20th place, Patrick Genter. 21st, Shane Wielden. 22nd, Mark Sherwood. 33, Curtis Noble. 24th place, JJ McCoy with probably his worst qualifying effort to date. They're in 24th, and the last two sorted by I rating is going to be Joshua Slade and Kenny Heath. And we see Joshua Slade, they're not qualifying. That, Dustin, is intentional. Had some contact last week, and the admins decided to put him at the end of the field for the the start of this race, rather.
Yep, yeah, that race penalty was post race, so that was issued out after their team owners meeting later that week. So he found it that means he was going to have to serve a drive-through. It was best to just not qualify on that one. That way he can hit pit road sooner rather than later. So, but still a lot of laps, Jeremy. We're slotted for 130 laps around this track, so it's going to be a wild one. As we sit here and go around, is the drone camera really trying to get wild already this morning, or this evening rather. Man, I can't even tell the time of day, Jeremy. I'm out of here.
Over at my end, we're not, another 2 hours away from sunset. You just wanted to get a great look at the sky, get the people viewing on YouTube and Facebook a look at what the actual weather looks like. 23 of you watching before the green flag dropping this evening. Really appreciate that. We had high numbers last week. We got high numbers again, looks like, for tonight. So hopefully this race at Kentucky does prove to be a good one. Kentucky's always a hit or miss for me. You said it's not your favorite, Dustin. I agree, it's not my favorite as well. That's just racing it. I feel like personally it's just a track I kind of just blank out on. But racing it exactly, though, I typically perform well here. Not many people can hold the bottom in turn 3. It's really tricky. It looks really wide right here. But you have a lot of speed. You get into turn 3, and you have to lift early, or else you slide up into the center. You have all that asphalt at the top to wash up and be okay. But I think the winner of this race is going to be holding that bottom yellow line probably the best. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Pace truck is down. Jamie Horn, the 98. First time here at Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Going to be showing these guys what his restarts look like. And Geico restart zone. Green flag right at the beginning of the zone. We're underway, Dustin.
Yeah, should be some good racing tonight. Like you said, I think the driver that's going to hold it the best is going to be the one that can hold the bottom section of that track on the long run. Even right around that black dark groove or a little bit higher, I think they're going to be all right, but it's definitely going to be the one that can hold it down there, the one that can save the tires. I mean, tires, they are a factor on this one here. As you see the 65 of McGinley taking the lead right now. 3 wide is the 98 of Horn slipping back from his pole start. Almost 4 wide, 5 wide, Jeremy, as we're going down past the start-finish line.
Holy cow, look at this. Jamie just super loose on the bottom of turn 4. Walks the dog all the way up the track, and he's going to fall back tons of positions. Top 4, top 5, single file. We're still 2 wide, 3 wide, and just like that, for on lap number 2, the first caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes is out. It looks like it's going to involve a couple trucks here in turn 2, Dustin. To see the 77, Shane Wielden, he's one of them, as we're on the Nerd TV replay. Kenny Heath here in the 5, sees the massive pile up here. And nowhere to go for the 5 Kenny Heath. Going to slam right into the 25 ghostly numbered truck there. That's one of many angles you probably have for this one here.
Yeah, I think that one there started more so around the 77. We'll see what kind of happened there. Oh, looked like the 33 just got loose in the corner, checked everybody up. The 25 checked up, but the 77 of Wielden just could not get that machine checked up in time and tagged the back of the 25, and chaos ensued after that one there. That was a hard hit.
JJ McCoy with the poor qualifying effort comes into this turn 2 and wipes his teammate out there. 22 into the 33 as they're kind of checking up there, but man, you see right there, that's after the contact sends Ronald deep into the corner. There you go, a little VHS rewind. You see the whole, like almost a whole truck length here. Gets in the corner, then just boink.
Oh, I see what happened. The 33 of Holmes had to check up because he had to run on the 23 there. And if he wouldn't have checked up, he was going to get right in the back of the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. And J.J. McCoy just did not expect that much of a checkup going into the corner there and just a little bit of bumper tag. And the rest is, as they say, Jeremy, is history.
And that's exactly what happened in that second part of that wreck with Shane Wheeldon having to check up for the 25 of Aber and Ghostin, and that's what sent that second set of trucks wrecking around there in turn 2. But that's a quick lap and a half, a green flag, right to a caution break. Don't expect anyone coming down pit road unless you were part of that wreck there. And
which is the 26, the 33, the 77, the 25, and the 5 are all down pit road. They all got a little piece of that action.
They sure did. So take the time. You got another lap and a half before we go back to green flag. Shout out to our longest partner here for the Nerd Series and Nerd TV. It's going to be none other than Martin Sports. You got the plug ready before I even said it. You already knew.
I knew, man.
The official apparel partner for the Nerditudes. So if it's a small company, huge time product, they make the best sim racing gloves that you can put on your hands, fully customized shirts. So whatever design you want, it's full sublimation. So basically it's full color. It's a really breathable material. It looks great, vibrant colors, whatever you need for your team, whether it be the virtual side here on iRacing or if you got a softball team or just any team jersey, period. Head yourself over to martinsports.gg and whatever you do purchase from Scott Martin over there, Super Nerd at checkout will save you a whopping 25% off.
And Jeremy, even if you don't have a team, if you just want to make a jersey just for you, just because, hey, why not? You're cool. They have a custom design studio over there. You can go and make a one-off shirt just for you. And guess what? That promo code still applies for 25% off.
You know what? That's such a badass feature, and I don't know why I didn't advertise it. It's so cool. No other place you can load up to a website and go, all right, I want this on my shirt, and you load it up, customized box, boom, you can place the logos, the whatever you have uploaded right onto the shirt, and it shows you where exactly it is. That's a really neat feature.
Absolutely. Hats, hoodies, you name it. They have it, so definitely we are super proud to have Martin Sports as our longest running, one of our longest running partners. So, but Jeremy, we're getting ready to rack them and stack them again and try this one more time. Hopefully, drivers have a little bit more of an understanding that there are going to be different braking points. Drivers are going to roll off. Some are going to use brakes and just kind of do that trail braking. Some are just going to roll out of the throttle and let the transmission slow them down. Drivers got to have their heads on a swivel tonight, Jeremy.
Well, if it's going to be like the Cup race at Sonoma today, expect 10 plus cautions because that was a wreck fest there this afternoon in Sonoma. But I'm over here. I expect the long green flag run to happen at some point in time, at least one fuel cycle. So we get the one to go there. Lights are off on the pace truck, Dustin. Chad McGinley, to the point Brandon Crichton picked up 2 spots versus Jamie getting loose. He's going to start at P2.
Yeah, good solid run right now for Brandon in that 02 red Chevy Silverado up there on first truck on the high side. But I tell you what, I mean, some of the names too. We talked about Mike Hayes during the pre-race show presented by Martin Sports. He's up in P3 right now, and Jeremy, usually we don't talk about EJ Luna until about mid-race because he works his way up. He kind of lets what's going to happen, and then he works his way up. But he's already up there in P4 right now. And the newcomer Nick Boyd in that 76 rounds out your top 5. So we already have 2 new guys kind of wrestling around up there with 3 of the league veterans. So, I mean, they're not holding back already from the start of this race.
Let's see it. Let's see it all 134 laps. That'd be amazing to watch the new guys versus the vets here for the Sunday Night Global Sim Racing Truck Series. And let's get this thing going. I know Chad McGinley's wanting to do some green flag racing. Of course, he's usually out there in the top 3, puts on a blistering opening 5, 10, 15 laps. Let's see what he can do on this start. Just waiting for the Geico restart zone. It's a little bit further out. after where the pace truck exits. Bumper is already being tagged. 79 Stephen Knight pushing the 76 and Nick Boyd to the line. Nick does not go because of it, so there's going to be a gap on the inside there. At least 5 trucks as it gets to turn number 1. And side by side for second and third.
Yeah, it looks like the inside line there with Mike Hayes. He did not time that jump good from Chad McGinley, and he was struggling. I tell you what, the 0-2 of Brandon Creighton was getting one heck of a push from EJ Luna. Now Luna switches and gives Mike Hayes a heck of a push. These two duking it out right now. This is your battle for P2, as everybody else is still trying to gather it up back there. Oh, we got an accident there. Truck in the wall. That looks like Clayton White.
Huge wreck there. That is the 14 of Clayton White, and just like that, his night is completed on lap 7. Kick it back to the Nerd TV replay, and this man, I think all 4 wheels came up off the ground, if I'm not mistaken. Barely clips Bradley Minor. 90 degrees, Michael McDowell style into the wall, and then comes cross traffic, and nowhere to go for the 23.
Oh.
All 4 wheels technically do come up off the ground. And then another driver, the 75 as well. That's
Patrick
Gentry.
Yep. Genter got into it as well. I think it's probably the toughest announcement we've had to make, but I think during the running of the Kentucky Fried 200 out of turn 4, I think we have lost Clayton White simulated driver, because that was a nasty hit.
You are going to trigger one of these 20-plus people watching this broadcast with that comment, sir.
Hey, you know what? I'm a senior and junior fan, so... Jeez. Yes. Oh, and then spin cycle the other way.
What a violent set of collisions there. That outside wall hit a ton, and then followed up with 2 trucks at full speed coming across. So just
there you go,
huge
Jimmy.
wreck there for the 14.
This is what it looked like from his point of view. This is in the cockpit right now. That is all he's seen. Up, down, left, right, left, back the other way. And are we done yet? All right, we're done. Whew.
Yeah, it was so close to clearing the 46's nose and just barely clipped it. And that's all it took for him to go around there. So we've got a lap and a half. I think before we go back to green flag, time to shout out another one of our Nerd TV partners, iRacing iFlag, the official flag marshalling partner for the Nerditudes. Has a custom 3D printed box that has 64 LEDs in there that display all 30 notifications plus that iRacing has to offer you. It's vibrant, it's bright, it's very customizable with its settings, and it really just keeps you alert of what's going on the track instead of that little tiny flag that pops up in the top left corner on the standard iRacing layout. This box is cool. It completes your sim rig. It's like having the fence lighting there on any track on the NASCAR circuit, just right there, right next to you. So if you're looking to up your game and complete your sim rig, head yourself over to iRacingIFlag.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD. 15% off your entire purchase.
Yeah, I got to shout out Michelle Rittenberry on the YouTube side joining us on a Sunday evening.
Oh.
I appreciate that. She says, hey guys, and then says that she was actually, she loved seeing us race for the first time yesterday. She tuned into the broadcast yesterday and watched us try to duke it out on there, and said that she loved the view. It was fun to watch, and she felt really bad for me last night not being able to get my lap back. Well, I appreciate that, Michelle. Sometimes you run well, and sometimes you're a day late and $1 short. And I was obviously about a week late and about $300 short last night. So, but I mean, this is the way of plate racing. So glad to have you on board tonight. Should be a fun one. Jeremy, I'm waiting for these guys to get rolling. I want to see a long green flag run. I want to see strategies. I want to see multi-lane racing, because we know this track can produce it.
It can. It very well can. Side by side is very possible here in Kentucky. You can pinch the guy down there on corner X, especially turn 4. You can just, if you can follow him the right way with the side draft and everything these trucks provide, you could be side by side, lap on in. And but we got to get there. We got to get there. You got to heat the tires. We got to get some green flag laps underneath our belts before we can see that happen. You can't do it too early. Obviously, we've seen a lot of trucks loose early. This is the first league race with the new aero package, as you described earlier. So there's a lot of unknowns for those who have not practiced this new package this week. So, this is a learning curve for everyone, including us watching.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it's one of the big things is you have to drive these more than what you did on the previous build. I've heard a lot of talks from a lot of our, our partners and a lot of people that we're close with in the sim racing community that, run these quite a bit. And they do say, they've told us numerous times that you have to work the throttle more in these trucks with this new build than what you ever did in the previous builds. They will have more of a tendency to get loose, but this is more, more close to what the trucks actually handle like in real life. The trucks needed a big update, and iRacing knew that, and they brought it here. The unfortunate thing is it's such a new update. It literally just rolled out this past week. The drivers are still trying to acclimate themselves to the changes.
And we're seeing it. We're definitely seeing it. We're seeing some new guys up here. We're seeing the veterans that know how to adapt and overcome. They're up here. And, yeah, still got 24 live watching right now on the YouTube side alone. Appreciate it once more for jumping in. Just like Michelle, if anybody else wants to throw out a chat, feel free. We'll try to respond to it in a timely manner.
Yeah, light them chats up. Come on, folks.
Test Dustin. I want him to do three jobs. I want him to produce, commentate, and read comments all at the same time. So far, he's 1 for 1. We'll see if it later on. But here we go. Green flag is out. The 65-02.
Matched him.
He timed Chad perfectly, Dustin.
He matched that restart. They go off into turn 1 side by side. McGinley has a slight advantage on that inside preferred lane, but I tell you what, the 0-2 of Brandon, man, he matched him really good on that one. And Jeremy, look at that. More so single file than what we've actually ever seen. Now going into the corner, you're seeing the varying lines going on, and as they come out of the corner, they're going to go back single file. Maybe these drivers are kind of getting the understanding there that, hey, we got a lot of laps, let's just kind of start ticking them down. But look at JJ McCoy. As we were just on there, I just seen him. He started a little further back. He's trying to work his way up after that lap 1.5 incident?
Yep, lap 1.5 was that first caution period off of turn 2. Going too wide here. 44 there. Mark Sherwood exploring the 3rd and 4th lane. Let's see what he does up at the top. Gets a great run down the front straightaway. Able to almost clear, if not does clear, Brody Marinko. He's going to go back to the bottom where it's really congested through 1 and 2. There is that little extra grip on the high side of 3 and 4. And, with new aero package, things might be better on that top lane. That's something we'll also keep an eye out on. Here it is, 3 and 4. You're seeing more trucks explore it. 4 trucks to the 3rd and 4th lane. This might be a fun set of corners.
Oh
no! Well, not fun for Danny White, that's for sure. JJ McCoy involved. A couple others look like they're involved. 3rd caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like, yep, JJ McCoy involved in on that one as well. That was a tough hit. And as all of that was going on, Jeremy, we didn't even have a chance to go back up. But Brandon Creighton had actually taken the lead from McGinley prior to this caution coming out.
And it looks like one teammate from every team almost involved in this one here. We're going to have contact with the 78, John Howard. Let me see what he does through here. Watch that seam between the 2 trucks. That's going to be the telling sign.
Yeah, it looks like McCoy.
JJ.
Yep, he kind of drifted up there, not expecting the 78 to hold that line there. A lot of this is anticipation. The anticipation that driver above you is going to drift their truck up and let their truck kind of drift up towards that wall. And Howard was holding there because he had the 64 Danny White to the outside, something that JJ McCoy might not have been fully aware of. So McCoy just started drifting up to that seam there and just got too close, and contact was made. Heavy damage to a lot of these trucks, though.
Yeah, second time we've seen all 4 trucks come up, or all 4 wheels come up off the ground there with a wreck. This aero package did make the trucks a little lighter somehow, and so it is a lot easier to get them up off the ground. But look at that, just a violent hit to the left rear.
And that's the worst. That is the worst, because Danny White had no idea that was even coming. He was so far up in that high line. He had no idea it was coming. He just driving. Hey, it's a good day. Bam! Done. Had no idea that it was even happening.
And if you're one of those guys who runs like 50% or stronger force feedback setting, you're just taking a casual turn 4 exit, and then all of a sudden you're gripping that wheel thinking, what the heck just happened? And
That was like last night. We got LePage last night, and that's how it was. We were driving too wide at Talladega, just cruising, getting ready for pit stops, and it was a violent hit. Almost snapped the wheel out of my hand on that hit there. So, I mean, it does, depending on your force feedback settings, Jeremy. You're 100% correct on that.
And that was involved in that one was the 26 from J-Dog Motorsports, Jacob Grant, of course, Grim Reaper with J.J. McCoy, 1 of 1 with the 78 of John Howard, and Lone Star Racing's Danny White for trucks. Pretty well damaged in that one. Kenny Heath in the 5. He also spun late after that one to avoid things. He's okay, though. But we're going to go another 2 laps, I think. These pace laps, Dustin, here at Kentucky, for some reason, they are extended. We've had way longer pace laps than normal. And if I remember right, I think that's always been the case. I just forget about it every single time until I show up here. Kentucky loves pace laps.
Oh, and you thought the Talladega or Daytona's pace laps were brutal. I tell you what, Kentucky is right up there. You're right. I mean, these things are just forever long and seem like they take an eternity to get back around for that pace truck to dive back off. So we still got another half a lap before we cross the line for 1 to go, and then another lap all the way around. So, like I said, it's these are tough. We were close on that one there, just trying to start getting a good green flag run going. You know, these drivers, they got to remember, you know, there's still a lot of laps, Jeremy. A lot of laps. We still got green flag pit stops. You know, you still got strategies you can work. You can't do that with a beat up truck.
No, sir. Not at a mile and a half. You know, aerodynamics are super important here. And on the YouTube side, Global Sim Racing Truck Series own Michael Lester saying, you are doing a great job. And I know he's talking about Dustin, not me. So there you go, Dustin. You got your
No.
for this evening.
That's for both of us, and you beat me to it, man. See, I'm 2 for 3 now. You beat me to it. I was gonna say that, but no, that's for both of us. I'm just gonna go out on a limb there and say that from Lester that is from both of us. Glad you're tuning in, Lester. Hope everything is going good, man. Family is always number one, but we await your return, but no sooner than you have to. So glad you're tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Even if it's for 5 laps and shouting us out one time. It's all that matters there to us. So thank you for that. Going back to green flag this time, 0-2, Brandon Crichton from 101 Motorsports will be taking the green flag. Chad McGinley is second place there from Grim Reaper. And then Lazy Lizard, look at them. They got a couple of drivers up here, at least one from the 76? No, yeah, 76 there, Nick Boyd. He's up here in the top 5. You got Lone Star Racing. They're going to take the whole second row here, 3rd and 4th place. So good mix up of teams still here, even after a few wrecks. Love to see this, a mix of yellow, black, orange. All the spoilers are up here.
It's a great thing to see. It really is. You know, it's the team chemistry has really got together. You know, you're starting to see these teams really work together, start to come into their own, you know, as we're approaching halfway through the season. So it's great to see. I tell you what, it's great to see these newcomers like Brandon here taking that top spot. Green flag flies. Excellent start by the 0-2 of Crichton there as he takes off, going through the tri-oval off into 1. Single file right now. First double file back there is for 3rd as you got Luna on the inside. LeBlanc was on the outside there for a hot minute, but now they look like they're starting to single file until about that 6th place battle right now, and that's going to be between Stephen Hayes in the 13 and Nick Boyd in that 76.
Yeah, Nick Boyd looked like he started in 3rd gear, did not get the bottom rolling. They all had a shift to the top there, and that's how they went single file in a hurry. Coming across the line, single file all the way through the top 10. And Michael Lester saying never Dustin. So I don't know if that means that you never do good or I don't know.
We'll leave that to your imagination, Jeremy.
Oh, man. We see Joshua Slade. Remember, he started dead last here this evening. He's already up inside the top 10 after a couple cautions. Did not expect him to take too much time to get back up to the front, but he's doing it in a hurry.
Yeah, he really is. As he's flying through there, and he's got the 46 of Brad Miner, who is trying to work his way back up as well. Miner up 4 positions. But I tell you what, the one that I'm looking at, though, I mean, Slade is your biggest mover at 17 positions from his starting spot. But, I mean, you look at Mark Sherwood. We had talked about him briefly. He was exploring that third lane up there. He's up 11 spots. Right now, tied for second with none other than the 13 of Stephen Hayes. And then the next one after that is Curtis Noble, who had an outstanding first race last week, is up 10 spots. So, I mean, we already have some pretty big movers for tonight's race, Jeremy.
Yeah, 100% here, but looks like we might get that long green flag run effort started anyways. Look at this. The entire field, single file down the back straightaway on lap 22. A couple trucks looking into turn 3, but for the most part, being a little easier here. Oh, contact almost between the 54 and the 33. Ronald Holmes in front of Brody Marinko. And oh, look at this huge run. Is that Grant there on the top, the 26th? But he's really the 19 on the paint scheme. 3 wide. The second time we've seen Ronald in this predicament. This time it stays clear for him.
Man, some good three wide battle in there, but I can't believe the run that Jacob Grant had on that top side, though. I mean, he was just lighting it up there. But again, that we talked about it in pre-race, Jeremy. Oh, 33 of Holmes loose off the corner, was able to gather it back up. So good driving there by the pilot of that 33. But we had talked about this track. This track poses such good racing with the right vehicle combo. And for whatever reason, the trucks just seem like they put on an amazing show when they come to this track.
Yeah, they really can. I mean, it goes both ways, but generically speaking, yeah, I expect some really good racing with the trucks. The new aero package seems to be doing just fine here. And shout out to Ronald Holmes once more, just because, well, remember last week he said we only put him on TV if he's wrecking. And here we are, we're talking about him for almost over 2 straight laps. And he has not wrecked at 33. But we're going to cycle through here a little bit. Looking at the 76, that's Nick Boyd P8. You see where he stands right now, and right in the middle of a big single file set of trucks. But Dustin, the top few there have kind of spaced themselves out a little.
Yeah, right now it is just the Brandon and Chad show up here. They have taken off and gapped themselves apart from 3rd and 4th place, which is EJ Luna and Justin LeBlanc. And right now, Brandon in that 0-2, he has got himself about a 2 to 3 truck length lead over Chad McGinley. So I don't know if McGinley is just pacing himself, or if Brandon is, he's got this track down like that. And that's the unknown. We talked about it in the pre-race show presented by Martin Sports. These new drivers, we don't know a lot about them because it's the first time we've seen them on track, just like everybody out there tonight. So it's hard telling, that where their skill level sits. But I tell you what, right now the showing that they're putting on, especially from this 0-2 of Brandon Creighton, is, I mean, he's putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, if this was a few weeks prior, Chad McGinley sitting there like, I got a nice comfortable lead, and all of a sudden we got this newcomer showing up and going, okay, well, hopefully you liked winning, but you're not going to be doing it anymore because I'm going to show you what I'm worth. And looking back to the field a little bit, I saw some trucks potentially going 2-3 wide in the back. Saw one really low entering turn 3. It's getting pretty racy in this set of trucks
right here, right around that 12th place, Jeremy.
Yeah, right around the 12th. That's Jacob Grant, the 19, a.k.a. 26. Bobby Mantle on the 89, now getting passed by his teammate Ronald Holmes here on the backstretch.
Yeah, good side-by-side racing. You got 2 side-by-side battles there. The other one was between the 54 and the 1. That was the 54 of Brody Marinko and the 1 of Mike Hayes. So they were battling side-by-side. Potential 3-wide situation here is the 88 there of Curtis Noble. Thought about it and then thought better of it as they were going and getting ready to set up for turn 1. Close side-by-side battle right now between the 33 and the 88.
I love this little battle here. Oh, Ronald, no, save it. He does. Kind of.
Wow.
Still hold on. And there it is. There's your best hands of the race, probably. I can call it already, 33 Ronald Holmes. Excellent save on the back straightaway.
He was so out of funk and out of character on that back stretch, and then brought it back and really only lost about 2 positions from the position that he was battling. So amazing recovery for the 33 on that one there. We're going to get him off the screen, Jeremy, before something else happens. We don't want him to be bringing any bad juju and pointing fingers at us saying it was our fault.
It's okay to inflate the man's ego every once in a while.
That was a hell of a save. I will give him credit on that. That was a hell of a save there.
Yeah, absolutely. And YouTube comments starting to get a little fun. Jay Thrill popping in saying 101 is going to sweep. And then Michael Lester comes back with the bathroom. So
Shots fired. Shots fired. Oh, I love it. Keep it coming, guys. We love it. We love bringing you guys in on it.
You know, 101's getting better and better, and they bring in this new guy here, pulling the 0.3 of a second lead over the race lead, or second place truck rather, Chad McGinley. Still, this has been the gap for probably 10 laps between these two. So I don't know if it's an arrow push situation or what, but the 65 is having trouble advancing on the 02.
Now, I have heard a lot of talks that dirty air was something that's definitely plagued these trucks after that update. So, I mean, you could be touching on something very accurate there, Jeremy. I mean, we've seen it in the past, even on the previous build, that clean air meant the world. And it seems like now air is even more vitally important after that most recent update. So, I mean, it could be right now that McGinley is fighting that dirty air situation. And if you look, the line that McGinley is running, except, well, of course, he's going to make a fool out of me, and not this one here, but he had been running that same line. So he's getting that dirty air from the 02 as he's leading. So he's going to start fishing for different lines around there to try to break that dirty air. It's about the only way he's going to be able to try to close up that gap. Aside from the 02 making a mental mistake.
And this is a beautiful view here from the back of the 02. And just to notate, turn 1 and turn 2, like, it is a bottom feeder corner. There is not much to be had up in that second, third groove. Now, this part of the track, you see everyone right behind them, they're not trying to touch that yellow line. And so there's more grip to be had. There's more options up there. And when you can do that, Chad is saying to himself, well, I need to get out of his dirty air, so I'm going to take that half a lane. I'm going to move up. But turn 1 and turn, you're stuck. You kind of have to put yourself down there.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, you can run a little higher, but it doesn't really pay dividends in the end on that one there. That preferred line and the fastest way through 1 and 2 is on that painting that yellow line there. But I tell you what, man, the 02 is starting to gap our championship points leader, Chad McGinley, now. As we just crossed the line, we're now working lap 36 of 134, Jeremy.
Jay Thrill coming back saying, is that what they call Grim Reaper, a.k.a. the bathroom? So still shots fired.
Shots fired. Oh, so I tell you what, though. I mean, you can sit here and dog these teams, but I mean, there's a lot of teams out here, man. There's a lot of good teams, and they've shown that they can get something done. I mean, Grim Reaper, 1 of 1, Ghost, Lone Star, these teams all have wins. I mean, and to say the least, I mean, you can say, yeah, one team's got more wins than another one. Yeah, you can say that. But to win at the level of competition that these guys in the Global Racing Truck Series bring is no small feat at all. So for a team to even have a win there, I mean, that puts you in a different caliber. So there's a lot of good drivers, a lot of excellent talent out here, a lot of good teams out here. But I tell you what, I love the back and forth. I mean, that is the way of motorsports, whether it's real or virtual, is that back and forth. You know, who's better, you know, what brand's better, what team's better, you know, what driver. So it's a good thing.
Ford is the best brand here in the sim world and in the actual real life stuff. And speaking of dogging, okay, we got some big looseness. Justin LeBlanc, EJ Luna trying to kind of styling it off a turn 2 there. Both they get really loose. And I've seen a lot of trucks, Dustin. The 13 of Stephen Hayes, the 98 Jamie Horn, those two specifically, just really loose on corner exit 4, and even in the center 3 and 4. Just keep your eye out on that as this run keeps going on.
Yeah, and these two here, they were just loose the last lap here, and they're duking it out. Looks like Luna's going to get that run clear. Justin LeBlanc on the high side. Slade going to pull it down low. Slade going to try. He really dives it in there. That's, I think, the lowest we've really seen Slade go, and he's, I mean, Jeremy, you can't get any closer to that thing without actually touching that line.
And I said on the pre-race, if you're going to do well in this race, you're going to have to grab that inside yellow lane there in turn 3. And if the 12 is able to do that and pass that efficiently, that just shows you what turn 3 bottom looks like to your advantage if you can make it stick.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we did touch base on that. You know, it's who can sit here and protect their tires and who can maintain and have the preferred lane and the shortest lane around later in the run. I mean, this is the longest run we have had, Jeremy. These guys are really starting to stretch it out. Oh, big time up the track there. Block, as it looked like on the 13 of Stephen Hayes, was the 12 of Slade. So Slade's still trying to move up, doesn't want to give up any positions.
Nope, does not want to. They go back to single file here. 41 laps in. Green flag pit stops are going to be happening probably the next 15 laps or so. We're going to kick it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back. And back to full screen here, and you probably saw the big yellow banner at the top saying Boomer Button Box's caution is out. And it's going to be for this man, J-Dog Motorsports, Jacob Grant. Loose. He got loose way before this and just could not hang on to it. Slides to the infield here. Solo spin. No one made contact with anything. So it's a safe caution, but it does bring out the fourth one tonight.
Yeah, he was just out of sorts going into that corner. Went into that corner there. You can see it start to yaw out a little bit. Gave a little bit more throttle. He had to let off, and then he starts. You have that seesaw back and forth there. You know, trying to get that front grip and that rear grip to match up. And if you can't get it in the first attempt, maybe the second one, it's a 100% guarantee after that it's going to snap one direction or the other.
A hell of a job to at least make the effort to saving it. Kept it off the wall, didn't hit anybody, so great job there for Jacob Gant. But pace structure down pit road, I expect every single soul here on the lead lap to be getting 4 virtual Goodyears and a full tank of virtual Sunoco fuel. One truck out there, I think he's a lap down. I think that was a 78. But who's going to make or break their first pit stop tonight?
Yeah, this is going to be make or break. And you got to remember, for most of these drivers, this is the first chance that they've had to actually make any changes to their setup since the initial drop of the green flag. We've had a couple cautions, but they've elected to stay out. So, again, you could see adjustments on these cars. You might be seeing drivers that might have been struggling at the back part of the top 10. You might see them come up, and it looks like McGinley is going to win that race off of pit road. That was a close battle there, Jeremy, but this right here is we're gonna see exactly what's gonna go on. Drivers have had a long green flag run. They kind of know how the car's handling. We've seen a lot of loose trucks out there. I keep saying cars. Seen a lot of loose trucks out there. This is a time to try to tighten them up, depending on where you want that truck to perform the best. Short run, mid run, long run. It's a gamble. You got to figure out which one it's gonna be.
Yeah, we say kind of like the make or break type of deal. Like, we're gonna figure out what the arrow looks like in reverse, right? We saw the 65 Chad McGillian just kind of struggling to follow Brandon in his wake, and now we're going to see the flip side where Brandon now is going to have to either follow the wake of the 65 or make his own lane or just out restart him like he did the last time he started P2 on the outside. So if he can follow behind, we can see exactly how in reverse this is going to be, which I'm really curious about, if that arrow was just a huge factor or if the 0-2s is that much better.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we have seen this exact restart before. The last restart, actually, or the two restarts ago, actually posed the 65 of McGinley on the inside, the 0-2 on the outside. Remember, the 0-2 of Cretan actually matched the restart of the 65. He did have to fall back, but it was only about 3-4 laps later that 0-2 worked his way around the 65 to take the lead and never looked back. So he's going to have to do whatever magic he brought on that restart there 2 restarts ago. He's going to have to bring that again and try to get back out in front, because I tell you what, McGinley is not a driver that you want to take lightly or take for granted on that one, because, I mean, if he's there, he's always creeping. He's always in striking distance.
100% here. I think we might get the 1 lap to go signal this time around, at least hopefully. I know Kentucky has those long caution breaks, so we'll see here. Shout out to one of our partners, Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles, the official hobby shop of the Nerditudes. So if you want to up your nerddom at all, head yourself over to dustypetes.com. Check out all their comic book collections they have, all the NASCAR diecast,
brand new pops they just got,
cards, Funkos, which I have probably 300 currently, not all on the wall at the moment, but 300 of those. So I love those things personally. So you just want to get something nerdy, head yourself over to dustypetes.com. Super Nerd, of course, is going to be your promotion code. It'll save you 15% off your purchase of $20 or more on their website.
Yeah, excellent place over there. I just got some pictures from Dustin Sorber, owner of Dusty Pete's, of some new stuff. I definitely had a pop there that was really cool. The 1989 Joker from Batman, the Tim Burton Batman film. Probably my second favorite Joker character. There is a close second only to Heath Ledger's performance. Nothing is going to top that performance of Joker, bar none. So always updating their stock. So go check them out, dustypeace.com.
There you go. And then we got a half a lap left before we're going to go back to green flag action, resuming on lap number 50. And we saw this restart a couple restarts ago. We had the 65 on the inside, the 0-2 on the outside. Brandon was able to match that effort exactly into turn number 1. Was unable to make the pass effort on the back straightaway. Will this restart be any different? We're going to see how this is timed here. Pace truck is coming down now. Going to be 10 seconds roughly before we get to the Geico restart zone. Green flag has been coming out a little sooner than later in this zone. As we're crawling there in the zone. Green flag is out right in the middle of that huge checkup. Joshua Slade did not get going this time. It's called EJ Luna. But look at the 0-2, Dustin. Matching that effort once more.
Match that effort once more. Almost picturesque of the last restart. He's going to pull right in line, right in front of EJ Luna. Had an excellent restart as well. And here he goes. He's not wasting any time. He got that run. He's going down to the inside, side by side. Right now, McGinley on the outside, Brandon on the inside in that 0-2. Still trying to go. Luna trying to figure out exactly who he wants to go with. They're neck and neck, Jeremy, as they come off. It looks like McGinley will lead this lap here, but not by much.
Just by a nose. The 65 does take it that time. 0-2 is going to drive it off into the sunset here. Turn 1 and 2. Not much grip there in lane number 2. You clearly saw that effort washed away. Single file now for the top 10. Down the back straightaway, heads off into turn number 3. Chad's going to try to find that fresh air right above the 0-2 side. Slides up the track. And just like that, back to where he has been all night long. Brandon Crichton to the lead.
Yeah, excellent drive there. I mean, you want to know how to match restarts. That man's got it down right there. And he capitalizes. He wastes no opportunity there. He had the great restart pulled in, so he was right on his back bumper. That very next corner exit, he used that draft pull and just powered it to the inside. So, I mean, excellent veteran move there. I mean, like I said, almost by the book, picture perfect on how you want to do a restart in a pass for the lead here at Kentucky.
Learn from that 0-2 is what you just said, but look at this back here. Still a little 2x2. Goes back to single file there into turn 1 and 2 on lap 53. So approaching the completion of 2/3 into this 134 lap event for the Kentucky Fried 200. Good group of trucks right there. A little more spacing a little bit through the field. And what a very, very interesting restart. We've seen them a lot more closer up until this point. They all have fresh tires, and somehow they're able to separate from one another.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, a lot of that is because we talked about it. That lane going through 1 and 2 is pretty much set. I mean, you've seen the two drivers on your screen now, the Slade in the 12 and Luna in the 24. Ran the same lane, but watch as they go here. I guarantee you they're going to fan out, possibly run different. You see Slade running about a quarter lane higher on entry and just a tick lower on exit there than what Slade was doing. So turns 3 and 4, you really see these drivers really space it out and fan it out going through 3 and 4.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but I think we have a segment we haven't ran in quite some time. It's going to be the turn up the tudes. We got the sights and sounds of the trucks cranked up. So if we have that, we'll be right back. And that was the turn up the tudes. We got to listen to the trucks go around this Mountain Half Speedway of Kentucky. And the fifth boomer button box's caution is out for the 33 of Ronald Holmes here, Dustin. What happened on the front straightaway? 3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide. That was a quick move there by the 33 down when the 54 was trying to split the 64 of Danny White and the 33 of Holmes. And that happened so fast. We're going to have to go and take another look at that one there.
Ton of track around the front stretch in this entire facility, but the bottom lane of the tri-oval is the fastest. We see the split. People did
Oh.
not know that was happening, and you're just kind of closing the door there on the bottom half of the
Well,
track.
and on top of that, if you look, there was a little bit of contact between the left rear of Marinko and the right front of Danny White as Marinko tried to cut down in front, and that pushed him right back up into the 33 of Holmes. He thought he had a little bit more room there. He was going to try to split that gap and shoot that gap, and there was just slight contact, and it shifted the 54 back up about a half a lane.
Yeah, it sure did, and there it is. There's the clip that sent the 33 around right in front of the 54 and 64. And 5 cautions now through 60 laps of this 134 lap event, so averaging close to 10 laps per caution. And so law of averages says there's going to be another good chunk of them to come, but the racing has been getting a little bit cleaner and cleaner and cleaner as this race has come across. So we're going to go picture in picture here. We'll be right back for the drop of the green flag. And back to full screen here. We got a half a lap left before we're going to go back to green flag racing, resuming on lap 64. And to no surprise, your top two has not changed. But look at this row number 2, the number 12 truck. He was there, I think, last restart. Did not have a good jump of the gun there with the 0-2 in front. He's going to try to recover that and make a better effort this time around. EJ Luna sitting there in 4th place. He's been in 4th place, I think, the most out of any position on the track. He has been in that single position the most. And we'll see if he can amp that up into the top 3 podium. Rundown. Pace truck is down. Can the 202 jump to 65? And just like that, he does. Great timing at the gun. Gonna get 2 truck lengths, and here comes Joshua Slade.
Yeah, Joshua Slade making a run into it. Now, this is going to be the thing. I think that team owners have talked to both of these drivers here and told them that after last week, hey, come on, guys, let's just play nice and go out there and have some fun. So, a little bit of beating and banging last week happened at Gateway. Tough track to begin with stuff that was going on, but you know what? It was a good race overall. But these two drivers still duking it out. McGinley now diving to the inside here, looking on that. He's going to have that preferred lane and groove through 1 and 2. Jeremy,
Side by side, nose to nose, door to door, almost making contact here. Be careful there, packing in on one another. And the 65 McGinley cannot hold it, which is surprising, Dustin.
that is.
Turn 2 does not have that grip, right? And somehow Joshua Slade was able to make it happen.
Yeah, I was expecting the 65 of Chad McGinley was going to actually prevail, or at least be further forward on the 12 coming off of the exit of 2 there. Just because, it is pretty much a single lane. You see everybody right down there painting that yellow. But somehow the 12 of Slade was able to maintain and pull back ahead of the 65. But look at that straight line, Jeremy, from first all the way back to like 18th, 19th place. They were all in a straight line. Nobody was attempting to pass, and just as I say that, now they want to start passing.
Of course they do. They're listening in, and then they had to chime in where they could, and that's with their trucks and not their voice. Oh, LeBlanc almost making contact with Jamie there in the 98. Looks like they are going to clear each other from... Nope, a little check up there from the 88. It's going to bring Jamie right back into the picture on the outside once more.
Yeah, these guys duking it out side by side. This is going to be interesting through 3 and 4 because, again, varying grooves. They're going to say, hell with the boys. We're going to try going 3 wide here. We are going to go 3 wide. And the 98, it's going to come through in the center. Jamie Horn has a twofer through 3 and 4, passes the 88 of Noble and the 85 of LeBlanc in one corner.
This is just outside your 10th place spot right now for about 12th or 13th. Just like that, they go single file. Now the number 1, Michael Hayes, started 5th back here in 14th. Not having the night he's wanted so far, as we're just about the halfway mark of this race. And maybe this back half will be much better for that number 1.
Yeah, he's been struggling since the drop of the green flag, and now he sees himself fighting for position back here in the pack, not where you want it to. When a lot, you look at your top 5, they're pretty much straight lining it up there. They've got, the level of pressure that they have is minimal. These trucks back here, we're right around that 12th place, right around that top 10 that always poses some great racing. These guys got trucks all around them right now, and they're hungry. These guys are hungry.
You know what? So am I. We'll have a nice snack after this one here. Some good racing, though. 98 is going to pass 26, a.k.a. the 19. As maybe he'll get that number corrected for next week. Usually if I call him out, something gets corrected. So, Mr. Grant, there's your task for this week coming up. You have 2 weeks, rather, because you have Father's Day off next weekend. So plenty of time to update that number. But we're seeing 89 Bobby Mantle going to look to the outside. Possibly of the 98. Has a nose. Just not going to be able to do anything, I don't think, in turn 1 and 2. Stephen Knight there on the bottom in that green 79. He's going to bring Jamie in tow. He's going to actually put him to the inside in turn 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jamie Horn is on the move right now. Just past Stephen Knight in the 79. Now sets his targets and sights on the 44 of Mark Sherwood, who is having a phenomenal race, Jeremy. Sherwood up there about ready to try to crack the top 5, trying to chase down the 13 Whataburger truck of Stephen Hayes. But I tell you, look at this pack right here. You could throw a blanket over these 6 drivers right now. These guys are running so close. You see a good battle back here between Mantle and Grant. That's Mantle in the 89, Grant in the 19 on the door, 26 on the scoring pylon. But these guys have been going at it for about the last lap and a half, too.
Excellent battle here as these trucks starting to loosen up a little bit, look a little bit further forward. Starting to see more 2x2s down the front straightaway this time. Looks like maybe the leader or somebody up close hit the wall slightly entering turn number 1. Very normal thing to happen in these quad oval or tri-oval style raceways. Still side by side for a couple positions back as they get to turn 3.
Yeah, and Jamie Horn still trying to work now as he got around Sherwood there in the 44. That opened the door for Mike Hayes. Mike Hayes now passes the 44 mark back 2 positions from just a lap and a half ago. But Jamie Horn trying to work forward, got close to the 13 of Stephen Hayes there, that orange Whataburger truck. But Jeremy, it was almost like he got close there and it packed nose on that, or air on that front nose, and it just pushed the 98 of Horn back, and he lost about 2.5 truck lengths.
Yeah, he sure did here. 24th. Oh, EJ looked like he got a little loose there on the inside. It's going to allow the 13 of Hayes to get to him and make, at least on the scoring pylon, the pass completed. They're still side by side, though. Michael Hayes going to move to the top there in that number 1 to look to the outside of Jamie Horn. Still side by side through turn 2 on exit. EJ Luna really conservative exit on turn 2. Going to give up a ton of room and a ton of speed. And just like that, it's going to allow Stephen Hayes to have the advantage. And now Michael Hayes looking to go 3 wide as Stephen slides up the track.
Yeah, we got 3 wide battling right now. Luna backs out side by side. Are the brothers Hayes right now? Is now you see the 1 of Mike Hayes just going a little forward. Oh, so close. About a 1.5 foot gap distance there. But mark that position. Mike Hayes up to P4. And now Stephen Hayes has got to worry about a hungry number 98, piloted by Jamie Horn and the 24 of EJ Luna. But Luna looks like he's struggling, Jeremy. He's starting to fall back. But I tell you what, Jamie Horn is not. He is gone.
Did you see the slide from Stephen Hayes in between 3 and 4? It was a 4-wheel slide. It wasn't even a drift. His truck just scooted up the track right in front of Jamie Horn. He gets passed by Jamie and EJ Luna. A little 2 loss of position there for the 13, moves him back to P6.
Yeah, back to P6, but the battle right now is going to be for this 3rd position, currently held by Mike Hayes, as he gets that run on the outside of Joshua Slade. Slade back to 4th, and now Slade's going to come under fire from the 98 of Jamie Horn. This 98 is coming on strong in these later laps, Jeremy, but I tell you what, Mike Hayes is too, as he's now chasing down your current championship points leader, Chad McGinley.
Currently running just under 1 second behind race leader Brandon Crichton, which looks like he is going to be smooth sailing on these long runs. As you see the staggered effect there, Michael Hayes is trying to go a little bit higher than Chad. Chad's a little bit higher than Brandon Crichton. And then side by side here for 4th and 5th place, Jamie's going to try to get around the 12. Joshua Slade that time at the line. He does it, and right there, Joshua gives it up to move Jamie back to P4 as he's starting to pull his way back to the top of the pylon.
Yeah, starting to come back after that, what you would call an abysmal initial start. He struggled on the initial start there, fell back, but it looks like he has come into his own. He's starting to get his groove back. Yes, Jamie has got his groove back. If you want to sit here and trademark that, but now he's starting to chase down Mike Hayes, who has caught up to the back of Chad McGinley right now. McGinley has a mirror full of Mike Hayes, and Mike Hayes has got a mirror full of Jamie Horn.
He sure does here. Man, this racing is just not letting down, even though they're single file for the most part. But they're really buttoned up one another, and this new aero package is kind of making things fun. We're seeing trucks slide more. You said they have to pedal the throttle some more, which creates some variability in the racing. And I give this one a thumbs up so far, even though it's single file. Look at this. You're seeing the one trying to make the pass, and just speaking of flying, We're going drone action here.
Look at that pass, though. And you were talking about the wiggle and everything else in the previous corner. The one of Hayes had a little bit of bobble there and just kind of yawed out, but he was able to throttle out of it. But look at him battling on that high side right now. Is the one of Mike Hayes. He will complete that pass. Mike Hayes up to P2, and look who's going to try to follow right behind. 98 of Jamie Horn trying to pack some air on that right rear of the 65 of McGinley.
McGinley starting to fall back a little bit. Michael Hayes, I said he's not having the night he wanted, and all of a sudden, this guy is just turn up the grip, turn up the speed, and everything in between. And he's moved his way to P2, but in him, look at him still sliding the wheels here, going through 3 and 4. A lot of sliding going on through 3 and 4.
Yeah, but remember what we talked about, Jeremy. We had talked about that when they went into pits, that was their first chance to make adjustments. Sometimes you nail your adjustments. Sometimes you kind of go over on your adjustments. You don't know until later in the run when you're like, oh, crap, I probably should have only done a half a turn instead of 3/4 of a turn. This isn't good. Now you're starting to see it. You know, they may have made the trucks better on the short run, but now they're paying the price on the long run. And I did want to shout out to, yes, Lester, Danny DeVito, hands down, best Penguin in the Batman series. I will 110% agree with that one there. And then he is yelling out, let's go, Michael. So, again, awesome job out there. Going to be some good racing. And these guys aren't letting up. But I don't know if they have anything for that 0-2 of Crichton. I mean, he is just out. I mean, Mike Hayes and Jamie Horn are coming on super strong, Jeremy. I don't know if they can chase down the 0-2. They're really going to have to pull some tricks out of their hat on this one.
Pull my nerd card because I don't know much about the DC universe, and we'll leave that one at that. That's all I can say there. But super impressed by Michael Hayes, the way he's able to navigate up to P2 like this and not lose a bunch of ground. He just continues to progress on the 0-2. Now he's got some clean air, of course, by getting himself into second place. He's had this spot for about 5 laps or so now. And look at the searching. Jamie run up to the 4th groove, up there where the grip line starts to take effect that you saw in qualifying. And that might be the move. I said you're not going to find people up there during the race, but lo and behold.
We're finding people up there.
They're starting to navigate toward that way.
And just look at this. You can see that that tail. Right now we're looking out the deck lid, so looking back behind Mike Hayes towards Jamie Horn. And you can see that there's a little bit of wobble as they go through the corner there a little bit. And Mike he has to work that throttle to keep it going. But as they say, Jeremy, made famous by some guy in some Thunder movie somewhere, says loose is fast, you just even it out in the corners.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
I don't either. I read it on some meme somewhere.
Oh, okay. It might just be the most important and most popular NASCAR racing movie of all time. But, you know, there's that.
Talladega Nights?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I just sat here and got so many people watching going, no, you did not just discredit Days of Thunder with comparing it to Talladega Nights. Battle for second is there going as we're talking about movie trivia here. And if Mike Hayes isn't careful, Jeremy, he's going to lose 2 spots here because McGinley's starting to come back.
Well, looks like Jamie Horn is now the first loser here in P2. Michael Hayes is struggling on grip. Just can't hold the bottom. He's loose. He is just... He made the charge to the field, but now the tires are finally paying that price. He's going to lose second. Now he's going to lose third to Chad McGinley. And Joshua Slade has been cooling off those tires. He might make a charge here as well.
And that might have been what McGinley was doing when he started falling back. He might have been giving those tires a little bit of a break there, a little bit of cool down time. And, you know, we hadn't really seen Mike Hayes get that loose before, but the one thing that he didn't have before that he did in that corner there was he had Chad McGinley right on his rear bumper, packing that air under that rear bumper. So that could have been a little bit of an aero loose situation more than just a handling loose situation.
Did you see what Michael Lester posted on the chat there?
Oh, man. Oh, Mike, you were a good guy. Were being the key word. You can't do that. I mean, it's a good one. That's like sitting here saying Top Gun sucks, and if you say Top Gun sucks, Michael, I can't talk. I can't talk to you anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But these guys are certainly dropping the hammer right now, late into this run. The 12's trying its best to get around Michael Lester, who's just hanging on tight here. Still side by side. This is for P4 on the pylon. Michael's still running that third groove. I love this third groove. It might be partly due to the aero package, Justin, but this third groove it's loose, but it's fast.
It is fast, but I'm telling you, Mike Hayes right now is struggling. He needs to come down to his virtual pit crew right now because he needs a fresh set of sneakers on there, and he needs to. Oh man, he is just wicked loose. Yes, Mike, Tom Cruise is a weirdo, but I'm not going to sit here and let that degrade on movies, so I can look past that. So,
Hey, so is Jim Carrey. And I love his movies.
There you go. But yeah, back to the racing action. Mike Hayes does lose 4th place, but Jeremy, we're going to be seeing pit stops coming up here pretty quick. We're working lap 93 of scheduled 134 distance. Now, we say scheduled because in the slight chance that there is a late race caution, they will do green-white checkered. So it could extend further than 134 laps, but 134 is a scheduled distance. But, Jeremy, I mean, these guys here are, I mean, there's racing all over the track. I mean, right now, you see Brad Miner on the inside of Steve Knight. These guys been duking it out now for the last couple laps. Oh, Steve Knight, wicked loose off at turn 4, Jeremy. So it looks like turn 4 is the troubled corner right now later in these runs.
These trucks look like they're on a different tire model, let alone the aero package. Like, it is just impressive how much looser these things look. They don't even drive the same here at a mile and a half, at least visually speaking. I have not tried it myself, so I can be speaking out of my rear end. Yeah, the pit window is open. These guys are at 40 laps to go. So the field window exceeds 40 laps. It's been open. At any point in time, we can see the rotation start, and it could come from anywhere in the field. There's just a lot of spacing in the top 10. I don't know if like short pitting is going to do any good, just because you're not going to make up the advantage that you're going to need.
Yeah, and I mean that's usually always been that ace in the back pocket for a number of drivers is that short pitting, scenario that they could do. And I agree, Jeremy. I don't think that the short pit is going to be as effective at this track tonight as we've seen in other tracks. Ron Harrington says yes, but Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Yes, so does Jackie Chan, and I would rate Jackie Chan as a way better person than Tom Cruise. So that's just me personally, though. That's just me.
And then the follow-up question, where is Ron Harrington running, like, not on the track? Is the right answer. So, for those questions where you know the answer to.
Oh, see, this is why we love you guys chatting back and forth, because we can have some good interaction while calling an amazing race, because these guys are going at it. Right now, speaking of going at it, Joshua Slade and Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn has fallen back. He did fall to the clutches of the 65 of Chad McGinley, but nobody's touching that 0-2 of Brandon Crichton right now.
No, look at this lane. There's the grip lane. There it is. Hanging it out on the cushion. Oh, but he got loose, and Joshua Slade took it. If he did not get loose, I would have loved to see that run off the corner exit, but I has to give it up to Joshua when he got loose. But if your truck's loose up in the grip lane, up in the top of 3 and 4, like, you know you've got some handling issues.
Oh, yeah, but I tell you what, I mean, Horn was just laying it out there all the way through 3 and 4. I don't know if he's going to try to flirt with that. Nah, that was just a little too free for his liking. He's going to take the safe route and take that bottom lane at that dark grip patch down there. But I tell you what, he was laying it out there as we do have green flag pit stops underway, Jeremy.
Who do we got there on pit road? A 75, Patrick Genter, 14 laps down. Not in the winning contention, but this guy is. The 85, Justin LeBlanc, gives up his right around the 10th place position to come down pit road. So that'll be your first lead lap truck to find virtual Goodyears being installed on that machine right there.
Yeah, so this officially starts, and your race leader coming in. Joshua Slade following suit. Oh, Slade heavy on the brakes. Wow! He was sideways on that coming in. Looks like Brad Miner is going to follow suit behind Slade. So 3 of your top runners right now. So all 3 of them were solidly in the top 10. One of them being your race leader. The other one was your third place runner coming in for pits right now. Looks like Shane Wielden coming in along with John Howard now enter. So Jeremy, pit road just got busy.
Here we are. We're seeing more and more come down to a bunch of the people inside the top 5. EJ Luna being one, Chad McGinley in the 65 being the other, and the 98 Jamie Horn as well. Michael Hayes stayed out. Stephen Hayes stayed out. So the Hayes brothers 1-2 on the pylon. You see Mark Sherwood in the 44, Stephen Knight there in the 79, 88 as well of Curtis Noble. So, yeah, a ton of trucks in that top 10 came down last time by.
They did, and I'm surprised Mike Hayes has stayed out.
No.
Save it. Oh, gonna be an unsafe pit entry as he loops it down pit road. He was to the right of that commitment cone.
Wow.
Oh, that was just about ready to say I was surprised that the one of Mike Hayes stayed out as loose as he was. And before I could even get the statement out, those tires finally give way coming off of turn 4. Unfortunate break for that number 1.
And that didn't even start in turn 4. He was up on the track in turn 3 trying to save it. He was fighting that thing the whole entire set of corners. As you see the 13, Stephen Hayes, he's coming down pit road, giving up the race lead to the 26, Joshua Gant. Welcome to the league, your first race here, and you're going to lead at least a lap, virtue of pit cycle. But Michael Hayes there was loose. Excellent save, first and foremost, to not only bring it down pit road, but then to keep it off the grass. But he did go outside of the yellow cone, mandated pit penalty. And there goes the 26 down pit road. And Chad McGinley is going to cycle back, your race leader.
Woo! Loose coming in there. Again, pit road seems like it is a struggle bus for some of these drivers.
I lied.
But they have been going for quite some time at green flag. I mean, and to be honest, all their pit stops have come under caution. So this is the first time they've really had to try to woe these trucks down to pace speed. And not only that, but on worn tires. And you see that outcome did not work out too well for Mike Hayes. He's still sitting on pit road. Again, that mandated unsafe pit entry going to the right of the commitment cone. And Jeremy, even if he went to the left of that commitment cone and actually made the scoring sector there for pit road speed, I don't think he was going to be down to pit road speed because he was coming in pretty hot.
Hour ago, Michael Lester on the chat says, "Let's go, Michael." An hour later, "I hate Michael," referring to his getting loose and spinning there. So there's that. I did 65. Chad McGinley was cycling back through. I lied. The 0-2. Once ever Bobby Mantle pits down pit road, he's being passed right now by your race leader Brandon Crichton. Look at the gap here from pit road. They were about a second or two away from one another. Now it's a 5-second gap between second and third place Brandon Crichton and Chad McGinley.
Yeah, 4.65 seconds right now. McGinley trying to close that gap, but I tell you what, Crichton has got an excellent buffer right now. I mean, he's got plenty of breathing room, Jeremy. We're just under 30 laps remaining in this event. So right now, if it stays green, that 0-2 is sitting pretty right now. Bobby Mantle falling back. He's going to fall to the clutches of his teammate here pretty soon. But right now, Jeremy, these long green flag runs are paying dividends for that 0-2.
Yeah, no, what a opening inaugural race here for Brandon Crichton. Like, just one hell of a performance. 4.5 second lead over the fastest guy in this league, and I can say that confidently because of the only person to have 5 wins this season. For him to show up here and just put on a clinic on that guy means a lot for this camp of 101 Motorsports. They've got a contender now, at least from Kentucky's perspective, to be a race-winning contender for this team. Amplify them, make them better. So this is huge for 101 Motorsports.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and we've seen a lot of team shuffling. We've had a lot of new drivers come in, new drivers join stables. A lot of these stables are now starting to fill up. You know, they've hit their driver max, and it's good to see some of these drivers come in. And how would it be, Jeremy, to come into your first global racing truck series scheduled league event and drive away with the dub in your first official start?
I mean, there's only been a select people in the actual NASCAR world that have done that. SVG being the latest one at the City Street Course of Chicago in the Cup Series. So you're in some good company there. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see. I mean, if it can continue, man, this is gonna be a game changer. But nonetheless, showing up like this is a statement maker too. Like, this is not just a brief win. He held on the short run. The middle of the run, he pulls away. In the long run, he holds that time. He doesn't lose it. So he's managing tires very well. And being 24 to go at the line, this 0-2, just the only thing he's thinking is, please no cautions.
Yeah, that would be, in a sense, I mean, it would be a buzzkill for this 0-2 team. I mean, they've done everything right tonight, you know. And that right there would slow them down. But Jeremy, as strong as that team has been, even on the restarts and short run, I mean, they've been one of the only trucks that have really pressured and outdone the 65 team of Chad McGinley. You know, he matches them, I mean, throttle for throttle on the restarts, quick pass, gets out to the lead, like you said, short run, he's strong, he stretches it in the mid, maintains in the long. I mean, the 0-2 team of Brandon Crichton has done everything right tonight. They just need to capitalize and finish it off, and they'll do that in 23 more laps, 23 to go.
Chad McGinley is trying everything. He is continuing to gain a 10th here, 10th there, 2 tenths here. They had a 5-second advantage 5 laps ago. The gap is now 4.222. I do not expect this gap to keep closing this entire run. That is for sure, as Brandon's on a little bit of a cruise control situation. But we're cycled through pit stops, Dustin. Time to load up our weekly iRacing iFlag track map, just to show you what a full cycle of pit stops plus a few extra here at this 1.5 mile facility. A lot of guys in turn 1 and 2, a lot on the tri-oval, and the 1 leader 0-2 in turn 3, all by his lonesome over there. There's the corner difference, a whole set of corners almost ahead of second place.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, McGinley is doing everything he can. He can't hold back. He's got to charge. I don't expect him to be closing in like this because he's going to heat those tires up. He's going to get them greasy. He's going to have to let them cool down. And like you said, right now, Crichton in that 0-2 is just on cruise control. Like, he knows he's got space. He's not even really, you know, pushing his tires as hard as he can. Now, when the 65 and McGinley hits a certain threshold as far as distance in between himself and the 0-2, that's when Brandon's going to sit here and hit the pedal and start pushing a little more. The downside for McGinley is Brandon's going to have more tires to be able to do that, whereas McGinley's are going to be heated and greasy up to that point. So right now, I mean, McGinley needs either a caution or a mental mistake from that 0-2 or that 0-2 to hit traffic and slow him down.
Yeah, 100% there for sure. 3.9 last time at the line. You see some little bit of racing action going on in 1 and 2. Jacob Grant in the 19/26. He's behind the 79 of Stephen Knight. And this is a battle for 10th place, which is kind of important because that's a stat, right? They keep track of top 5s and top 10s. And you finish 11th, you get to miss out on that number being added to the scoring pylon on the graph, or the spreadsheet rather. So single file here, and yep, just very casual, hanging on for the end of this race, racing right now. But Jamie trying to look underneath the 24.
Yeah, now this is an ever important battle as well. All these drivers are in the top 5. Luna, Horn, and Mantle all in the top 5. But right now, Horn and Luna are fighting for that ever-coveted third place final podium position. That's a chance to come up and chat with the nerds afterwards and get a little showcase. So these drivers here, this is a key battle as well on the track. And we got a couple of them, Jeremy. You got the battle for the top 5 right now. Slade and Mantle going at it. There's a battle for top 5. You've seen the battle for third going on. You have the battle for 10th further back. These are all stat key battles. Not to mention the battle of Chad McGinley trying to chase down the 0-2 of Crichton.
There really is here, and do a quick shout out to the newest partner for the Nerditudes, Elite Performance Industries, EPI as you might know them. So if you want that competitive edge, professionally built setups from EPI is what you need. Visit them at raceepi.com today.
Yeah, brand new partner just come onto the scene. Love working close with Tyler Payne over there. Super nice guy, great staff over there. And Nerditudes are happy to partner with Elite Performance Industries throughout the remainder of this year and beyond. So great guys over there. Go check them out, see what they have to offer. A lot of setups for a lot of different cars, a lot of different series.
Yeah, big plethora of stuff to choose from, so it'll suit almost anyone's fancy, especially if you like winning races too. I don't know if that's a selling point to you, Dustin, but winning races with an EPI setup just feels good.
100%. It absolutely does. And I tell you what's, joining up with Norse Force over there. They're powered by Norse Force. Their top tier setups for A, B, and C have been, they've been smoking hot. They've been going, and whoa, it looked like the 0-2's starting to pick it up a little bit. Looked like he was yawning out there through 3 and 4, Jeremy.
On to it, man. You still got almost a 4-second lead. Don't put yourself in this kind of predicament here. 14 laps to go. 3.7 seconds is the gap last time by. Hopefully we don't see that again from the 0-2, but I know that 65 might want to see that.
Yeah, 65 still trying to chase him down. You see 65's right there. You look on board. You see the actual track distance. McGinley can see him. He can see him up there, and that's where it gets tough for a driver because you can see first place. You know where your target's at, but you got to keep telling yourself, I got to keep hitting my marks. Otherwise, I'm never going to make it up there.
And that gap was produced by pit stops. They had the green flag cycle, and it went from 1 second to 4 seconds. So whatever could have changed there on that set of green flag pit stops, the 65 needs to work on that because Brandon is bringing the speed. He's bringing the pit road efficiency and showing these guys what's up, and have to get some of these other drivers to regroup and go, okay, there's people out there that are faster. What do I need to do to make myself better?
Absolutely. And look at that. That truck just looks comfortable through 1 and 2. Painting that yellow line all the way down there. The key, though, is going to be that 3 and 4. How does he look through 3 and 4? And he's just, look at that, nice and easy down, painting that yellow line, nice and easy back off. That truck did not look out of shape at all. A very slight bobble on corner exit there, but nothing too strenuous. So he's driving a comfortable truck right now, Jeremy.
Very comfortable. And, I just thought of something, Dustin. We mentioned it yesterday in the streaming side of things at our Talladega race, so why not bring it up here? That file thing where I was supposed to uncheck my fast repairs, that's still live, so maybe tonight will be the night. You said it was like 2 months running.
2 months running.
Still chilling.
Still chilling. It's on the to-do list.
Maybe the night, man. Yeah, absolutely. 10 laps to go. You see the 24. He's still holding on to third place. 0.6 of a second now over that guy, the number 98 of Jamie Horn.
Yeah, Jamie Horn falling back a little bit there. Now, the one that was falling back, though, which surprises me, because he's been running so strong, but he's got to be careful because right now, Joshua Slade, who had just passed Bobby Mantle, who Mantle has fallen back, but Slade had just passed him, is now trying to chase him down. Jeremy, there's still 9 laps to go. There's still enough time for any one of these three drivers, either being EJ Luna, Jamie Horn, or Joshua Slade, to duke it out for that third and final podium position. You can't count out Brad Miner. He's kind of sneaking into the picture back there as well in sixth. He wants to crack that top 5.
He has been doing much better this the last month or two, this 46, continuing to show his face in the top 10. So whatever Bradley is doing behind the scenes to get better, it is showing. And he is one spot away from cracking that top 5, and that's with a really impressive number 12, Joshua Slade, 4 wins this season for that one-of-one motorsports driver. So just hats off to the 46 camp for continuing to get better and better.
Oh, hands down. And I mean, we've seen a huge turnaround since the start of the season. And it's good to see Brad Miner get the runs that we know that he works towards, and that team works, for. So it's excellent to see that. But I mean, right now, Jeremy, I mean, it's a stout top 10. I mean, you can't count out Stephen Hayes. Bobby Mantle has been struggling since that green flag pit stop. I don't know what's going on right now, but he's going the wrong way from where he initially started. And then what a rebound for the 26 on the pylon, but 19 on the truck, Jacob Grant. He had that loose situation off of 4, that spin down into the grass, no damage, still sitting in that top 10, sitting pretty comfortable right now. And then Stephen Knight rounding out your final 10th place position right now, Jeremy. And I tell you what, he's had some close calls, some struggling with a loose race truck, but has still been holding on.
Yeah. A lot of these trucks are they're not feeling great unless you're Brandon Crichton, that's for sure.
Yeah, right?
Like, smooth sailing, he's already starting to pull away now. The long run is set in, and he is on a mission. But Jamie Horn running real tight up another turn 4 exit wall, sliding that thing. And it is amazing how many trucks I have seen tonight just they're not getting loose per se, they're just taking a 4-wheel slide up the track. And just looks like the grip is not here tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we seen Jamie Horn do that earlier too, and it was, it was tough. He was definitely holding on to it when he was up there, but I mean, you see, he's already running a lane higher than what Slade is. Slade trying to get that clean air right now. As you see, they come off turn 4 through that that quad oval there, or tri-oval rather, past the start-finish line. Slade's still trying to push. 4 laps to go right now. Looks like Brandon has got smooth sailing as we are driving through here, Jeremy. That long run, like you said, is kicking in. Chad McGinley looks like he's setting himself in at second place. Gap is now 4.2 seconds to your leader.
Falling back quick. And EJ's almost got a second gap over 4th place Jamie Horn now. So that looks like it's all but sealed up for your top 3. Unless something drastically happens. Like something that I won't name.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I'm not doing it. That's for certain. Gonna reserve that one here. I think it's gonna be the first top 3 that we've seen in over a month for sure, where this 12 is not gonna be participating. So it's kind of a little different scenery there, but at the same token, we get to talk to EJ Luna, which we've only talked to him once or twice. And of course, Brandon Crichton. Never spoke to him, so this would be kind of a newer post-race show presented by Martin Sports coming up. 2 people we haven't really talked too much.
Right now, Brandon on that 0-2 is now fighting with traffic. Could hinder that split differential a little bit, but he's slicing through him pretty good. Ron Harrington says Joshua Slade is excellent at coaching drivers, and it shows with Bradley Miner. So you want to know why Miner has increased in his skill? It's been coaching help from the driver of that number 12 as we get the elevated esports racing 1 to go, Jeremy. 3 more corners, 2 more now as they come off of turn 2 for the driver of that 0-2, Brandon Crichton.
And a turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Smooth sailing, one last more set of corners. A welcome to Global Sim Racing. Here we are, the 0-2 Brandon Crichton, 1 for 1, picks up the checkered flag here tonight for the Kentucky Fried 200.
What a statement, and your first ever outing for the Global Racing Truck Series, and you show up and get the job done, do everything right, and bring home the dub for your first ever official league win and your first appearance. And like you said, Jeremy, That is some rare company in that statistic slot.
Yeah, very rare.
Look at the
See the
congratulation bump there from the 65. That's right. I
there it
said
is.
congratulation. I made a new word. We can do that.
Right there in that graduation, but you know what I'm saying, bro? And there you go. He gets it there. I don't know what that was, by the way. We'll just let it slide. But no, new burnout time. Let's see if he breaks my code. You know, I didn't call out last week either.
You
I'm starting to
didn't.
slip on
You
that.
didn't.
You need to fire me, I think, at this point. But here we go. And we're going to do the old Richie Coy Polish victory lap. It looks like nice, safe. Can't hit the wall doing this one, right?
Right? And it's always good to see this. Of course, you know this celebration here. If he goes all the way around, it looks like he might be trying to set up for a little bit of a burnout here. I think he is as he's kind of going down. But the Polish victory lap again, made famous by Alan Kulwicki. It was always good to see him do that. So, are we going to get a burnout, or is he just going to do a nice? There we go. You got to light him up. I tell you what, after a performance like that, gotta light him up.
Well, this is underwhelming here. There we go. There's a little more smoke coming out of the rear tires. And here's the unofficial results, by the way, for the Kentucky Fried 200. Brandon Crichton P1, Chad McGinley finishes in second place. EJ Luna in third, Jamie Horn fourth. Joshua Slade ends up in fifth. Bradley Miner sixth. Stephen Hayes finishes seventh. Eighth place, Bobby Mantle. Ninth, Jacob Grant. 10th place, Stephen Knight. 11th will be Curtis Noble. 12th, Justin LeBlanc. 13th, Abram Ghostin. 14th, and your final guy on the top, or the lead lap rather, is going to be Mark Sherwood. 15th on back, one lap down or more. It's going to be Danny White, Shane Wielden, Brody Marinko, Michael Hayes, John Howard, Patrick Gentzer, Nick Boyd, Ronald Holmes, Kenny Heath, JJ McCoy, Anthony Emmerich, and Clayton White, with the tarp still over the truck of the 14. Rounds out your 26th place finisher. And going to full screen commercial break. We will be right back with the top three. And welcome to the post-race show presented by Martin Sports. We got our top three gathered up here tonight. The first one I'm going to bring down is third place finisher, number 24, EJ Luna, the Pepsi Cola Chevrolet Silverado. Congratulations, man, on P3.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir, man. Started 8th place, finished in third, so up 5 spots from that. Truck seemed pretty quick overall. From your viewpoint, this is a brand new aero package. What do you think felt different compared to last week?
Oh, it's definitely a challenge driving these trucks now. The back end slips out on you a little bit, so you gotta be more throttle wary. But all in all, I actually really like this update. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
What did you have to do different to get around the mile and a half tracks here? I know you said a little bit about throttle play and whatnot, but is there anything other than the throttle that you kind of have to do different to make a successful corner?
Well, this track is a little flatter than most of the mile and a halves, so I feel like you can really push it harder into the corner. But honestly, I'm still learning, so I think today we showed up pretty good for our team, so I'm proud of the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting a third place finish for Lone Star Racing, and so congrats on making the podium once more, man. Awesome job here tonight. Final thoughts before we let you go.
That was a fun race. I'm excited to see what this truck package does for the rest of the season. Thank you guys for putting this stream on. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hope to see you guys next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, man. Once more, we will definitely catch you not next week, Father's Day, but the week after. We'll see you return.
Yes, yes. I'll see you next race, guys. You have a good night.
All right, you too. That was number 24, EJ Luna. That Pepsi Cola truck. Now we're going to turn it over to our 5-time winner this season. One spot shy of the 65, Chad McGinley. Congratulations once again on a top 3 finish.
Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Coming to this race, we had no idea with the new guys here, but one guy in particular was 0-2, stood out. At one point, I thought you matched his speed. What happened on the back half of this race? It just seemed like you just lost extra grip that you had in the first half.
Yeah, I made a change and it was more of a longer run. So the first 20 laps it was really tight. So once it came alive, I started moving back up and then the pit cycle and I went a little further on the last run. And after 20 it was done for. So it was a matter of just holding on to it after that. So I was hoping for another caution late in the race, come in, get new set and rock that last change that I made to it and hopefully give Brandon a challenge. But no, he was definitely quick today.
And this is the new Aero package here. And I asked DJ about it too, but you spent a lot of time in that first half of the race running directly behind the 0-2. Do you think with the new air package was it the dirty air more effective or was it more harmful to the handling of the trucks? Like what did it feel like behind just in tow there?
Honestly, it just felt, like it was before. It's hard to generate a run at all. Once you get into a bubble, kind of just stalls out now. So it's a little tougher. You kind of gotta really get on their left rear and, peek your nose out just a little bit. And it's hard when they're both, you're running the line. So it's tough to be proficient on that. But it's not terrible. It's just once you get a couple trucks involved, then it's really bad. It's a lot worse to drive when it's a couple trucks and dirty air.
Good feedback for sure there on that, man. Congratulations once again on a second place finish. Just continuing to extend that points lead. But floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
I appreciate you guys putting on a good show every week. I love going back and watching it. Thanks to Grim Reaper, obviously putting in a little bit of time this week as much as we could. Try to get somewhat tuned up for it, and appreciate Global for putting on the league.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we'll not see you next week, but we'll see you the week after, and hopefully have a good week ahead. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Yep, sounds good, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that was Chad McGinley from Green Reaper Motorsports. And now it's time to bring in our race winner, which we know nothing about this man, the 0-2, Brandon Crichton. Brandon, congratulations picking up the first checkered flag in your first race here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series.
Yeah, man, thanks. Yeah, the truck was really good. And yeah, it was fun.
Very good understatement. You just the guy who's got 5 wins this season. You put him back 4.5 seconds there. I know you stayed pretty close with him for the first half of the race, but then we had the green flag pit cycle. Did you just hit your mark super well to gain that 3 to 4 second advantage over the 65?
Honestly, like I've done a couple official races this week, and I've been really bad. Even like every time I done green flag pit stop, I've got speeding. Even in practice, I did a green flag pit stop and I was speeding again. So that time I just kind of backed off earlier and I guess I hit it perfect.
Yeah, I guess so for sure. And excellent job on the restarts too. Twice you started on the outside of Chad McGinley, and he was the control truck, but you just knew when to press the go pedal. Is that something you had been practicing a while for yourself, or is that just tonight you just really just executed well?
Um, I do a lot of official racing, and you have to be on the money in official races off every start, every lap. And honestly, that's it, man. You could just tell when they're ready to go. I mean, you just get that. I don't know. I can just tell when they're ready to go. If they don't start early, they pass the center of the zone, you just hold on, man. Just go.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. I kind of get that idea for sure, but you don't know exactly what you mean until you sit behind the wheel and do it. So, excellent job overall. You hit
I got a
everything
question.
perfectly. Oh, we got a third question. What's
Yeah,
up?
well, we don't get the opportunity to do this with new drivers. So, how do you pronounce your last name? I want to see how close we were.
Grecian.
Cretan. We were, if we were shooting for shit, we wouldn't have caught a mile. We wouldn't have, we would have been off by a mile. Oh man, but no, good run. Like Jeremy and I were talking about. I mean, how does it feel to come in to a league like this here, your first start, and you finish it with a win?
It's awesome. It really is. It's cool. I used to do leagues back in the day a lot, and I stopped. And I just do officials. With work and everything, it's very, very hard for me to find a league that races when I can. And my buddy John told me about this league, and we made it happen. And yeah, it's awesome. I like league racing. They have longer races. It's more laid back, and especially with the new build, when you have the longer race and you know that you got a good truck, you can kind of just like settle back and just focus on driving and learning how to drive the truck better. Or if you go into an official race, you don't have time to do that, because everyone's so tough. And it's not the league racing isn't tight racing. It's just it's on a whole nother level, and they're shorter races, so you just got to be league racing is really good for learning and being smooth, and it's just good racing all in general.
Well, that's there you go. I agree with that statement there 100%. But yeah, hopefully we see each and every single week now. Apparently you're fast, at least at Kentucky. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. But floor is yours. Final thoughts. What would you like to think before we let you go?
I gotta thank the league, Global Racing League, One of One Motorsports, the broadcast team, everyone that puts this show on. The racing was awesome. Chad was fast, and I'm sure everyone's gonna get faster with just brand new week on a new build. Everyone's gonna just figure it out and get faster. It'll be fun moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And congrats once more. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was the number 02, Brandon Cretan. Dustin, we
Cretan.
were
We were
off by a
so
lot.
far off, so far off, Jeremy. We just need to quit. We just need to, let's just pack up our bags. We're done. We're not broadcasting no more. We just that was bad.
That's it.
Oh
Well,
man.
hey, at least we now know for next week or 2 weeks from now, we're going to be on the money with that. So next week is Father's Day. Will not catch us here Sunday night. So it is scheduled on the YouTube page. You will not see it scheduled. So join in 2 weeks. I appreciate the viewership. We've had 25 plus, I think, for a good chunk of this race.
We
So
we
thanks
were
for
up to
hanging in.
30 there for a good stint. So again, greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in. Keep shouting us out. Keep get the chats going. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Trust me, we're here for your guys' entertainment and to call the awesome racing action. So if there's something that we can do, and let us know. But we appreciate the love and respect.
There you go. And we do have a video to thank our sponsors one last time. I know we talked about them throughout the race, but Scott Martin's going to take it from here. So you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.
Back when nothing truly